A couple of days ago, I released a video on why Call of Duty Modern Warfare 4 is the worst option for the next year's Call of Duty. In that video, I basically talked about why it didn't leave itself to be a continued series in its last installment, Modern Warfare 3, and so why I actually thought Call of Duty Ghosts would be a better option. I briefly mentioned this right at the end of the video, and today I'm just going to make my main video about Call of Duty Ghosts and why I think it is just the perfect one for a sequel, Call of Duty Ghosts 2. Firstly, and most importantly, the campaign left itself open on a cliffhanger. I already went over this in the last video, so I won't focus too much on it, but the campaign definitely has room for getting explored more. We didn't really get enough background coverage of what had happened with the ghosts before the events of the actual game. We got some talk about it, some characters telling us little bits here and there, telling us why everything went wrong, etc. But I think it could be explored more in the next game, and really just the future of ghosts as well. Right at the end, we had the pretty significant twist, and I just think that there's a lot more room moving forward into the future as well. So next up, I want to talk about the lack of competition really that Ghosts has to face in terms of being the next game that Infinity Ward develop. I personally really kind of liked Infinite Warfare quite a bit, and I think unfortunately it just didn't do well enough. It had to, really rely on Modern Warfare Remastered to even sell enough to basically be financially successful and still the top game of the year. So I just don't think they're going to make a follow-up to that. The only other IP is Modern Warfare, and this is the one I genuinely believe that it will be Modern Warfare 4 next year. I'm under no disillusion, I just think it's not the best option. But if it weren't Modern Warfare, I don't think they'd go ahead and try and relaunch another franchise again. They've done that in the past 2 installments. They're probably going to want to start actually building on what they've already created, because they put a lot of work into the past 2 campaigns, even though their games haven't been so successful themselves. So I think in terms of likelihood, it's probably the second most likely game to come. Obviously, I would also be happy with Infinite Warfare 2, although that campaign very much was a self-contained piece. A bit like Modern Warfare, one of the only options you could do with that is go back in time and look at how the settlement defense front really separated from the SCAR. Now, I'm actually going to talk about the other modes. I didn't do this in the last one, but I will here. So, Modern Warfare, if you try to add Modern Warfare Zombies, I don't really know if it would work so well. And again, it wouldn't have to be a zombies. Modern Warfare had really good co-op modes in the past. I think survival is probably still one of my favourite things, basically ever, to play with a mate on split screen. I absolutely love to see that come back. But Ghosts had that mode, and it also had Extinction. Extinction was very much different to zombies. It was actually a lot harder in my personal opinion. I never got good at it, to be fair, but there's another mode that they could really explore in a bit more detail. And then again, they have their own survival mode. If they did that again, they had lots of different third modes, as opposed to just the regular multiplayer zombies and campaign mixture that we're getting so bored of. It's so tedious. Then it would definitely get a lot more people interested and give me a lot more replayability. Bit of a selfish one there. And obviously, most importantly, multiplayer, because it's what most people would probably spend their time playing. Call of Duty Ghosts, it's multiplayer. I loved it. The time to kill I thought was perfect. I loved most aspects of it. I know other people might disagree, but I thought it was really good. Remove Riley, remove the dog, and a few of the other OP score streaks, and put in some more fun ones. Then you're really talking one of the best games ever made in terms of multiplayer for Call of Duty. Sniping was amazing. Let's not forget about that. I think shotguns were a little bit underpowered, although actually nowadays people seem to be running them as a main way too often. And yeah, in general, I just think Call of Duty Ghosts makes the most sense. And it's also selfish because it is the Call of Duty, my first Call of Duty, a bit like your first Doctor Who. It is the one that you love unconditionally, despite all the ugliness. And that's just Ghosts for me. But yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Share your thoughts and opinions. As I said in the last one right at the end, we are trying to do 11 videos in 11 days over October. It's going to be crazy. Am I going to do it? I'll try my hardest. I can't promise nothing, but we'll see. Yeah, thanks for listening, boys. Catch you next one. A couple of days ago, I released a